Every dog owner knows that life with a pup is full of surprises. Beyond the usual moments of wagging tails, sloppy kisses, and playful digging, our dogs often slip in behaviors that make us stop and wonder, why on earth do they do that? In today's video, we're going to pull back the curtain on these unusual habits and explore the fascinating reasons behind them. Once you understand what's really going on, you'll see that even the strangest quirks often come from deep instincts, emotions, or needs. Let's kick things off with one of the most classic examples you've probably witnessed more than once. Number 1. Tail chasing. Picture this: your dog suddenly spins in a whirlwind nose chasing tail, like it's the most important mission in the world. It almost looks like they're caught in their own little tornado, a blur of fur and determination. To us, it's funny, maybe even silly, but for your dog, this circular dance carries deeper meaning. Sometimes it's pure play, like a child discovering their reflection in the mirror for the first time. They're exploring their own body, testing what they can and can't do. Other times, it's their way of entertaining themselves when boredom creeps in, as if the tail becomes a toy that never gets lost under the couch. And let's be honest, if you laugh or clap every time they do it, they learn pretty quickly that it's also the perfect trick to grab your attention. But beneath the humor, there can be shadows. Tail chasing can be a release valve for stress, the way some of us tap our feet when anxious. It can also whisper of hidden problems like fleas, allergies, or an itch they can't scratch. If the spinning becomes relentless, almost obsessive, it's no longer just a game. It's your dog's way of waving a silent red flag, telling you something isn't right. Think of tail chasing as a message wrapped in circles. Sometimes it's joy, sometimes it's need, and sometimes it's pain disguised as play. The key is learning which story your dog is telling. And once you start to decode these hidden signals, the next strange behavior won't look so random at all. Because if a spinning tail can carry meaning, just imagine what other secrets are tucked away in the things your dog does every single day. Number 2. Licking your face. If tail chasing was a message drawn in circles, then face licking is like a handwritten love letter sealed with a kiss. You've felt it before, that sudden wet rush of affection when your dog presses their tongue against your cheek. Some people laugh, some squirm, but to your dog, this isn't just slobber. It's poetry. Think back to their earliest days. As puppies, they licked their mother's face to say hello, to beg for food, and to feel safe. That tiny gesture of survival became imprinted in their hearts. And now, when they lick you, it's not just habit, it's memory. You've stepped into the role of caregiver, and this is their way of saying, I trust you with my whole world. But the story doesn't end there. That kiss is also detective work. With every lick, they're reading your skin like a book, tasting hints of what you've eaten, learning the scents that make you unique. It's their version of asking, where have you been? Who were you? With dogs have no words, so their tongues become their questions. Of course, there's a flip side. Sometimes that shower of licks is their way of calming you, or even themselves in moments of stress. And yes, sometimes it's simply because you taste like salt, and they find it irresistible. So the next time your dog plants that wet mark of devotion, don't just wipe it away. See it for what it really is, a bridge between their ancient instincts and their modern bond with you. Because if a single lick can carry that much meaning, what about the odd things they do after a bathroom break? Number 3. Kicking after pooping. If licking your face is a kiss, then what comes after your dog's bathroom break is more like graffiti on a wall, bold, unapologetic, and impossible to ignore. You've seen it. They finish their business, then suddenly kick their back legs with a flourish, scattering dirt and grass like tiny fireworks. At first glance, it looks like they're politely trying to cover up. But in reality, they're broadcasting a message. Those paws aren't just paws, they're paintbrushes dipped in invisible ink. As they scrape the ground glands in their feet, release pheromones leaving behind a silent but powerful signature. It's their way of saying, I was here, and this spot is mine. In the world of dogs, scent is currency, and every kick after pooping is like stamping a seal of ownership on the earth itself. But there's more. Think of it as theater. The dramatic backward kicks don't just spread their scent farther. They also act as a visual display, a little show of confidence for any onlookers. To another dog walking by those marks, scream territory, strength, and presence. It's less about hiding and more about announcing. Of course, to us humans, it might look comical, even a little embarrassing when done on your freshly mowed lawn. But in your dog's mind, this ritual is ancient, rooted in survival. It's the language of ancestors carried forward into your backyard. So the next time you see those flying tufts of grass, don't laugh it off as quirky manners. See it for what it is, a declaration, a story written in dirt. And speaking of stories written in unexpected ways, what about when your dog suddenly bends down to eat grass, as if your carefully prepared dinner isn't enough? Number 4. Eating grass. If kicking after pooping was your dog's way of writing their name in the dirt, then eating grass is like them sneaking off to nibble on nature's secret salad bar. You've seen it before, you turn around, and there they are, calmly pulling at blades of grass, as if your backyard was a 5-star buffet. It can feel confusing. You buy them the best food treats filled with vitamins, yet they still munch on grass like it's a delicacy. Why? Sometimes it's as simple as taste. Just as we might crave a crunchy snack, dogs may find the texture refreshing, a little green amuse-bouche between meals. Other times it's instinct, an ancient ritual passed down from their wild ancestors who used grass as a natural remedy, soothing upset stomachs, or even inducing vomiting when something didn't sit right. It's like carrying a built-in first aid kit in their DNA. But there's another side, too. Picture a bored dog lying in the yard with nothing to chase and no one to play with. The grass becomes a pastime, a distraction, a way to break the monotony. And while it looks harmless, too much, grazing can sometimes be a whisper of something deeper. Digestive troubles, nutrient needs, or simply stress searching for an outlet. So what looks like a quirky habit is really a layered story. A taste for freshness, a self-healing instinct, a cure for boredom, or a signal something's off. The trick is knowing when it's just a nibble, and when it's a message. Because if your dog can turn a patch of grass into medicine, or comfort, imagine what it means when they curl up on something even closer to their heart. Your very own clothes. Number 5. Sleeping on your clothes. If eating grass was your dog's way of tasting the earth, then curling up on your clothes is like sipping the essence of you. Picture it. You toss your sweater on the bed, or leave a pile of laundry on the chair, and moments later, your dog has made it their throne. To us, it looks like laziness or a quirky preference for soft fabrics. But for them, it's much more intimate. Your scent is a blanket they can't buy at any store. Every fiber of your shirt carries whispers of your presence, the soap you use, the places you've been, the emotions you've felt that day. When your dog lays down on your clothes, they're not just looking for comfort. They're surrounding themselves with the essence of safety, wrapping themselves in the invisible arms of the one they trust most. There's a sweetness here, but also something primal. By mixing their scent with yours, they're marking you as part of their pack, declaring, "This human is mine, and I belong to them. It's the kind of territorial claim that comes not from dominance, but from devotion. And in the quiet moments when you're away, your clothes become the bridge. They ease loneliness, calm anxiety, and make the world feel a little less empty. To a dog, a pile of laundry isn't dirty. It's holy ground, sacred, with the smell of the person they love most. So the next time you find your pup nestled in your hoodie or sprawled across your jeans, know this: they aren't being mischievous. They're holding on to you the only way they can. And if their choice of bed tells such a powerful story, imagine what secrets lie hidden in the dirt they dig with their own paws. Number 6. Digging. If curling up on your clothes is like holding on to your scent, then digging is your dog's way of carving their own story into the earth. You've seen it: paws flying dirt, scattering like confetti, nose buried deep as if they're searching for treasure only they can sense. To us, it might look like a mess in the garden or a hole in the couch, but to your dog, it's a ritual written into their very bones. In the wild, dogs dug to survive. They buried food to keep it safe from scavengers, or carved out cool dens to escape the heat. Pregnant dogs dug to prepare soft, hidden nests, the way we might build a cradle for a newborn. That instinct didn't vanish when they joined our living rooms, it simply shifted. Now your flower bed becomes their secret vault, your sofa, their canvas. But it isn't always instinct alone. Sometimes digging is joy, pure and simple. The earth becomes their playground. Each paw strike a drumbeat of excitement. Other times it's boredom scratching at their soul, and the soil becomes their outlet, a way to burn restless energy. And then there are the sentimental diggers, the ones who hide toys or bones, burying them like precious jewels, only to dig them up later with triumphant pride. What looks destructive to us is for them an act of creation, a way to shape their world. Every hole they leave behind is a little message. I was here, I made this, I belong. And if a patch of dirt can become such a powerful symbol, just imagine what's really hiding inside that simple, graceful stretch they give you the moment you walk through the door. Number 7. Stretching when you return. If digging is your dog's way of sculpting the earth, then stretching when you walk through the door is their way of sculpting the moment. Picture it. You turn the key step inside, and there they are. Front legs sliding forward, chest low to the ground, tail high like a flag of joy. To most people, it looks like a simple stretch, the kind we do after a nap. But for your dog, it's a greeting written in the language of the body. This welcome stretch isn't about stiff muscles. It's their version of a handshake, a hug, a smile, all rolled into one. It says, "I've been waiting for you. You're the best part of my day." Think of it like a musician tuning their instrument. Before playing a song, your dog is tuning their body for the performance of reunion. There's an intimacy here. They're lowering themselves in front of you, exposing their chest, showing vulnerability mixed with excitement. It's not submission. It's anticipation. They're preparing for the burst of love they expect in return. And the truth is, if you ignore it, if you rush past without a glance, it can sting more than you realize. To them, that stretch is an open invitation. Come join me in this moment. So the next time your pup bends low in that playful pose, take a second to answer back. Scratch their ears, crouch down, let them know you see them. Because to your dog, that simple stretch is not just a movement, it's a celebration. And if they can turn your return into a ritual of joy, wait until you see what it means when they bring you gifts. Treasures carried proudly in their mouths. Number 8. Bringing gifts. If stretching when you return is your dog's way of celebrating your presence, then bringing gifts is their way of offering you a piece of their heart. You've seen it. They trot toward you with a toy dangling from their mouth, maybe even a sock, or worse, that one shoe you swore you put away. At first glance, it looks random, maybe even mischievous. But to your dog, this isn't clutter. It's ceremony. Dogs are possessive by nature. Their toys, their bones, their little treasures, these are things they guard. So when your pup chooses to place one at your feet, it's not because they're tired of it. It's because they've decided to share something deeply valued with you. Imagine a child giving you their favorite marble, or a friend handing you their most cherished book. That's the weight of the moment. It's also an invitation. Play with me, their eyes seem to say, tail wagging like punctuation marks. Sometimes it's not about the object itself, but the act of drawing you into their world. And other times, it's pride they want you to admire what they've carried, as if to say, "Look what I have. Isn't it wonderful?" The meaning runs even deeper, when the gift isn't a toy at all, but something intimate, like your clothing. It's their way of weaving their story into yours, their scent with yours, binding the bond tighter. So the next time your dog drops a soggy tennis ball or that worn-out slipper at your feet, don't dismiss it. Accept it, like you'd accept a flower from a friend. Because in that messy, chewed-up object lies trust, affection, and loyalty. And if a gift can speak volumes, wait until you notice the tilt of their head, a simple gesture that hides a universe of curiosity. Number 9. Head tilting. If bringing you gifts is like offering treasures from their world, then the head tilt is like opening a window into their soul. You know the look, that sudden tilt to the side ears, perked eyes wide as if they're trying to decode every syllable you just said? It's so disarmingly cute that many owners talk to their dogs just to see it again. But behind the charm, this small gesture carries surprising depth. Think of the head tilt as your dog's way of sharpening the lens. By angling their head, they're fine-tuning the way sound reaches their ears, adjusting like a satellite dish trying to catch the perfect signal. They want to locate not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it. It's their way of reading your music, not just your words. But there's more. It's also about vision. Dogs tilt their heads to get a clearer view of our faces, to study the subtle dance of expressions we don't even realize we make. Every tilt is curiosity mixed with devotion, a reminder that they're not just hearing you. They're watching you, learning you, memorizing you. And yes, sometimes that adorable tilt is simply a way to melt your heart. Because dogs are brilliant at knowing what keeps our attention. It's their silent superpower, their irresistible hook. So the next time your dog gives you that quizzical, picture-perfect look, don't just laugh. Recognize it as a sign of connection, a bridge between two species trying to understand each other. And if a simple tilt can reveal such curiosity, imagine the mystery behind those circles they make before choosing the perfect spot to do their business. Number 10. Walking in circles before pooping. If the head tilt is your dog's way of asking questions with their eyes, then walking in circles before pooping is their way of drawing maps with their paws. You've seen it, the little dance, the pacing, the endless turning as if they're auditioning for a role in a strange ritual. To us, it feels excessive. To them, it's instinct carved deep into their DNA. Picture their ancestors in the wild. Before becoming our companions, dogs had to survive in open fields, forests, and deserts. When nature called, they were at their most vulnerable. Spinning in circles wasn't just indecision, it was strategy. Each turn was a sweep of the radar, scanning the environment for danger. Only when the coast was clear could they safely lower their guard. But there's another layer, one that borders on the magical. Scientists believe dogs may align themselves with the Earth's magnetic field, before relieving themselves. Yes, like tiny living compasses circling until their inner needle lines up with nature's invisible grid. It's a ritual as old as the planet itself played out in your backyard. And while some of us may tap our foot before making a big decision, dogs circle. It's preparation, comfort, and instinct colliding in a single act. The ground beneath them becomes a stage, the spin their prelude to release. So the next time your dog pirouettes before squatting, don't chuckle too quickly. They're not confused. They're ancient creatures practicing a ritual older than memory. And if circling before pooping feels like a burst of wild energy contained, just wait until you witness the full-blown explosion, the famous chaotic spectacle we call the Zoomies. Number 11. Zoomies. If circling before pooping is like a quiet ritual, then the Zoomies are pure chaos, a lightning storm trapped inside fur. You've seen it. 1 second, your dog is calm, maybe lying by your feet, and the next, they explode into motion. Their body becomes a blur pause, drumming against the floor, eyes wide, tail whipping behind them, like a flag in a hurricane. They tear across the living room, skid around corners, leap over furniture, spinning in manic loops, as if possessed by joy itself. To us, it's hilarious. To them, it's freedom. Zoomies are their way of shaking loose the energy bottled up inside, like steam bursting out of a kettle. Puppies do it the most, their little bodies overflowing with life they can't contain. Older dogs catch the fever too, especially after a bath, after eating, or just before bedtime when excitement needs somewhere to go. But it's not just random madness. Zoomies are medicine. They're a release valve for stress, a way to reset their mood, a burst of celebration for simply being alive. Watching a dog in full Zoomie mode is like watching pure happiness take shape and sprint across your carpet. Of course, the frenzy doesn't last long. After a few dizzying laps, your pup collapses in a heap, tongue lolling, chest heaving like a sprinter at the finish line. And in that stillness, you can almost hear them say, "That felt good." So the next time your dog rockets around like a tiny tornado, don't mistake it for craziness. It's joy, it's relief, it's instinct. And if running wild is their way of celebrating life, what about something quieter, almost sleepy? The simple telling act of a yawn. Number 12. Yawning. If Zoomies are your dog's fireworks, then yawns are their whispered secrets. You've seen it, that wide-open mouth, the stretch of the jaw, the gentle sigh that escapes, as if they're carrying the weight of a long day. To us, yawning looks simple, even boring. But in a dog's world, it's a language written in silence. Sometimes, yes, they're just tired. But often a yawn is more than sleepiness. It's a message. Dogs use yawning the way we use smiles or nervous laughs. It can mean I'm feeling a little stressed, please give me space. Or, I'm trying to stay calm, don't worry. Think of it as a release valve, a soft exhale of emotion when the world feels too big. There's also empathy in it. Studies show dogs yawn when their humans yawn, almost as if they're catching our emotions, mirroring our state of mind. That little yawn becomes a bridge connecting their heart to ours in a language older than words. It's their quiet way of saying, "I feel what you feel." And sometimes yawning is excitement, barely contained. Like a runner bouncing before the starting gun, your dog yawns when the leash comes out. Not because they're bored, but because the thrill is bubbling inside them. It's not fatigue. It's anticipation, dressed as calm. So the next time your dog yawns, don't brush it off as nothing. Look closer. Behind that simple gesture could be love, anxiety, empathy, or joy. It's a clue, a doorway into what they're feeling in that exact moment. And if even a yawn can reveal so much, Imagine the story written in the gentle spins they make before lying down to rest. Number 13. Spinning before lying down. If yawning is your dog's whispered secret, then spinning before lying down is their bedtime lullaby. You've watched it, that slow circle pause, padding in a ritual dance, turning once, twice, maybe 3 times before finally curling into a ball. To us, it seems quirky, even unnecessary. But for your dog, it's an instinct carried like an heirloom from their wild ancestors. Long before soft beds and cozy couches, dogs had only grass, dirt, or snow to rest on. Spinning helped flatten the ground, chase away hidden critters, and create a safer, softer nest. Each turn was a blueprint of survival, a way to claim the space as theirs before surrendering to sleep. Even now, when your pup circles on your plush carpet, they're echoing that ancient routine, a habit carved into memory over thousands of years. But it's more than instinct. That gentle spin is also a performance of comfort, like fluffing a pillow before drifting off. It's their way of making sure everything feels just right, of preparing a cocoon where they can finally let their guard down. Watch closely, and you'll see. It's not random at all. It's deliberate, purposeful, almost ceremonial. And there's something endearing in that pause, in the way they settle after circling, sighing deeply as if saying, "This spot, this moment is safe." So the next time your dog spins before lying down, don't see it as silly. See it as a bedtime story written with pause, one that connects the wild past to the peaceful present. And if that quiet ritual speaks so loudly, what about the times when they drag themselves across the floor in that comical little scoot? That, too, hides a message. Number 14. Scooting. If spinning before lying down is your dog's bedtime lullaby, then scooting across the floor is their uncomfortable confession. You've seen it. Your pup plants their bottom on the ground and drags themselves forward like they're riding an invisible sled. To us, it's funny, maybe even embarrassing when guests are around, but for your dog, this strange shuffle is a cry for relief. Think of it like scratching an itch in the one place they can't reach. Scooting is their desperate way of easing discomfort, a signal that something beneath the surface isn't right. Often it's their anal glands crying out for attention, full or irritated and needing to be released. Other times it's the whisper of parasites, tiny intruders that turn comfort into torment. And sometimes it's simply irritation, allergies, swelling, or a sore spot that makes sitting still impossible. But notice the determination in their eyes when they scoot, the way they push forward with stubborn resolve. It's not mischief. It's instinct colliding with discomfort, their only option to soothe what we cannot see. Imagine being trapped in a wool sweater that won't stop itching. Wouldn't you try anything for relief? Of course, a single scoot isn't always cause for alarm. But when it becomes frequent, it's your dog's body speaking in motions instead of words. Help me. Something's wrong. So laugh if you must, but listen too. Behind the awkward comedy is a truth worth noticing. And if a bottom drag can hide such urgency, what about the tender, almost intimate act of licking another dog's ears? That simple gesture, too, carries a story of care, bonding, and survival. Number 15. Licking other dogs' ears. If scooting is your dog's uncomfortable confession, then licking another dog's ears is their quiet love letter. Watch closely the next time it happens. The gentle lowering of the head, the slow, deliberate strokes of the tongue, the stillness of the other dog, as if they're sharing a secret only they understand. To us, it might look odd, maybe even a little gross, but to them, it's tenderness carved into instinct. In the wild, grooming is survival. Wolves licked and cleaned each other to keep wounds free from infection, to maintain health, and to strengthen the bonds of the pack. That ritual didn't fade when dogs came into our homes. It transformed into an act of intimacy, a way of saying, I trust you. I care for you. You belong to me and I belong to you. Every lick is both medicine and affection, a mixture of nurture and devotion. But there's more. Ear licking is also a conversation without sound. Dogs gather information through taste and scent, learning about each other's health, mood, and even stress levels. It's their way of reading a diary, written in pheromones of understanding each other on a level we can only imagine. Of course, sometimes it's simply comfort, the same way a child clutches a favorite blanket. Dogs find calm in the rhythm of licking. What feels strange to us is, for them, the heartbeat of connection. So the next time you see one dog gently tending to another's ears, don't dismiss it. You're witnessing a moment of trust, of care, of love expressed in silence. And if even that tender gesture carries so much meaning, imagine what else we've uncovered in this journey, every odd habit turning out to be a story, every mystery revealing a bond deeper than we thought. So after walking through these 15 strange and wonderful behaviors, what do we see? That nothing your dog does is truly random. Every tail chase, every spin, every stretch or slobbery kiss is a message, sometimes playful, sometimes ancient instinct, sometimes a quiet cry for help. To us, it may look quirky or even silly. To them, it's the language of love, survival, and trust. Dogs don't speak in words. They speak in circles drawn on the grass, in yawns shared when they sense our stress, in gifts carried proudly to our feet. They speak in the comfort of our clothes, in the tilt of their head, in the joy of a mad sprint around the living room. Their actions are their poetry, and when we learn to read it, we see just how deeply they're trying to connect with us. At the heart of every strange habit is a simple truth: your dog loves you with a devotion that needs no translation. And the more we understand their silent language, the stronger the bond becomes, a bond built not just on care, but on trust, empathy, and unshakable loyalty. If this journey through your dog's secret signals made you smile, made you nod, or helped you see your best friend in a new light, then let's keep going together. Subscribe to the channel, join our community of dog lovers, and let's continue uncovering the mysteries, the joys, and the heart of life with dogs. Because every day with your dog is another story waiting to be told, and you don't want to miss the next one.